Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. I am Mike Galetta, aka Hammonton Mike, bringing back some fun episodes where you can talk about it with your kids, your grandkids, your friends, your family. You can make fun of me, whatever you want to do, but I just love making the Sports Box for my fans out there. Didn't get a chance, unfortunately, to make the weekend sports cleanup this week, but it's okay. I know you degenerates out there are watching my picks, so I'm going to give them to you today. So we're going to give you 5 and 5, 10-pack of picks for college and pro football. We're going to start in college this week, obviously, and I'm going to take North Carolina. The Tar Heels are giving 5 to Virginia Tech in Virginia Tech. It's not the same old Virginia Tech team, and this North Carolina team is loaded to the hilt. Played a big game last week against Duke, buried them in a rivalry game. Some people say this is a look-pass game. This is a, they were looking forward to this game at Virginia Tech. Doesn't matter. I think North Carolina's got to set on a big bowl game, and I think North Carolina comes to play. They're giving 5, so take North Carolina and give the 5 to Virginia Tech. I'm also going to take Michigan on the road at Penn State. Again, another favorite in the way of Michigan. Good, solid team. Been up and down all year, but for the most part, a good, solid team. Harbaugh's got them playing well. And Penn State, this is an up and down Penn State team that you really can't get a read on. But again, it's not the same old Penn State. It's not the same old rivalry. I think Michigan goes in there and just does some damage. I think Penn State's out of it, obviously, and don't really give a rat's ass. So take Michigan, give the 3.5 to Penn State. That's a winner. I'm also going to take Michigan State on the road at Ohio State, the number 2 ranked Ohio State. I think Michigan State is a good team. People want to say they got lucky against Michigan with the, with the punt. You can say what you want about Michigan State, but they've been getting it done all year and stayed in the top 10. I think they're a good team. Michigan State getting 13.5 points. That's a lot of points to get from Ohio State. Ohio State is a good team, and they are at home. Even if Ohio State wins this game, which I think Michigan State has an outside chance to win, I don't think it's a blowout like the odds makers are thinking. Take Michigan State. Take the 13.5 points. Also, we're going to go with the Navy midshipmen this week. Navy, underrated team. You never hear about Navy that much. You have heard about them the last couple weeks, but they're going bowling this year in a big way. Navy is a good, solid team, and they're playing a Tulsa team again, up and down this year. Will they come to play? Will they not come to play? Not really sure, but I do know that Navy midshipmen are a good team, and even though Tulsa is home, Navy giving 12.5 is a solid play. I think you take the midshipmen and give the 12.5. It's a winner. And last, I'm going to take the Stanford Cardinal. Stanford, a little bump in the road last week with a loss. I think they're a little bit upset about that. It is homecoming in Stanford this week, and Cal is the victim. They will be in Stanford. Stanford is giving 11 points to Cal. Cal, good team, but I just think Stanford comes pissed off and ready to play. And Cal, to be honest, I think you're flying into a hornet's nest. Take Stanford, give the 11 points. It's another winner. Let's go to the pros. First out of the chute, people might think I'm nuts, but hey, that's okay. I've been called nuts before. I'm going to take those Dallas Cowboys in a pick'em over the Miami Dolphins. If you saw Miami play last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, Philadelphia more or less lost that game to Miami more than Miami won that game. Miami stinks. I think with Dallas coming back with Romo this week, it is a desperation move, but Romo is going to give them a little bit of jump. Can't hurt any worse than Castle and Whedon did, by the way. So I think Dallas brings himself out of a 7-game slump. They could beat the Dolphins. I don't want to say get back on track, but I think it's a stepping stone for Dallas to maybe get back in the hunt if anything falls their way. But in the short term, I'm taking Dallas in a pick'em against Miami. Disregard all the Buccaneer stuff you see here. I'm going by logic here. I am taking those Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road at Philadelphia, getting 7 points. If you saw Philadelphia play last week and the way they lost that game, there's no reason why they should be giving 7 to anyone right now. They're a mess of a team. They have issues. They're starting Mark Sanchez. So you're telling me that they're giving more points with a backup quarterback in for a team that beat Dallas last week and has a decent defense in the top 7. I'm not buying it. I'm taking Tampa and the 7 points and running all the way to the bank. The next pick, we're going to take the Chicago Bears, home against the Denver Broncos. Denver is going to start Osweiler this week, which doesn't bode well for them. Depending on the way Manning played last week with that injury, yes, Denver does have a great defense. On the road, though, at Chicago, I think Osweiler's going to have a little bit of trouble in that kind of setting for his first game. He is a professional. He's been there a while. I'm sure he knows how to handle it, but I just don't think this week when Chicago, believe it or not, Chicago getting back in the hunt a little bit, and Cutler has been playing well. From a standpoint of, like I said, the betting standpoints, I think you got to take Chicago in a pick'em against Denver. Let's go with those. Hate to say it, but I'm going to do it again. The San Diego Superchargers home against those Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs did win last week in a big way over Denver. Just fine. Denver struggling with Peyton Manning, and actually didn't look well, and they did put up a lot of points. But I kind of think it's going to be a down week for them. San Diego's got to come alive one of these times. I mean, yeah, they're not a good team. They're a dysfunctional team. They've lost Keenan Allen. But in the same sense, I think they get back on track a little bit. They win this game. They're getting 3 at home. I like San Diego this week against Kansas City. And my last game is kind of a head shaker to me, but I definitely think it's worth playing. I like those Cincinnati Bengals, those undefeated Cincinnati, or excuse me, not undefeated anymore. They lost to Houston. But I still don't think you get down on Cincinnati, even though they lost to Houston last week in an awful game where I went to bed early in that game, by the way. But I like Cincinnati +5 against Arizona in Arizona. Arizona, solid team. I just think it's going to be a closer game than people think it's going to be. Arizona, hey, Chris Johnson having a great year. Fitzgerald's rejuvenating his career out there. Arizona are playing well. They had a big win last week against Seattle. I think Arizona comes back down to earth a little bit and cools down. Again, if they win the game, I think it's a very close game. I'm taking Seattle +5. That's your picks this week, so let's review real quick for people that need to write them down for you. I'm taking North Carolina -5. I'm taking Michigan -3.5. Michigan State, I'm taking 13.5. Navy giving 12.5. And I'm taking Stanford giving 11. In the pros, I'm taking Dallas in a pick'em. I'm taking Tampa +7. I'm taking Chicago in a pick'em. I'm taking San Diego +3. And I'm taking Cincinnati +5. They're your picks for entertainment purposes only, remember. And remember, the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters, right here, baby. Take those picks. Let's get back on track again. Comment in. You like the show? You don't like the show? You want me to put something new on? Talk about different sports, different areas, whatever you want. Remember, the mailbag's always open. I love to hear your stuff. Take care, folks. Have a good weekend. See ya.